Everything in orders, operator? Is that a pun?
I will attempt to bypass this vault. Well put together, operator. Now get out there and...
Cut down the...
and make the Lotus proud.
Hello, friend. You find me now amidst the bones of all I am, of the thing that mattered most to me in my too long life. You know, I wasn't sure it was possible to be less than a man, for I was a man once. This room was to be a shrine to one of my dearest friends, but now that shall never come to pass. Look around, and I will recount what was meant to be. I imagine you surmised why I have summoned you here. To ask that, in the name of whatever friendship we share, to lend your aid to my impossible predicament. To help preserve, not me, not this shadow of a man I once was, but to keep this monument to history alive, so that future generations may learn from it and never repeat our most shameful mistakes. Granham's obsession with that bygone age demands pieces of such. Ironic, really, that one man's interest in history serves only to strip an edifice whose singular purpose was to protect it. But there remains one slim hope: the sourcing of artifacts from places other than the Leverian, sourced by you at my direction. Help me, friend. Help me, that my one great and final mistake not be the error that turns our collective history and the work of lifetimes. I imagine you surmised why I have summoned you here. To ask that, in the name of whatever friendship we share, to lend your aid to my impossible predicament. To help preserve, not me, not this shadow of a man I once was, but to keep this monument to history alive. Did I never tell you of Dante? No, I suppose I didn't. I suppose I hadn't the fortitude. The entirety of the Leverian is shaped by the lack of him, though perhaps only in ways that I can see. Though, by definition, a weapon of war, Dante was, first and foremost, a student of history. And he was my friend. Truthfully, much of the Leverian would not exist were it not for that bold, two-fisted academician's devotion to both myself and the cause of better understanding our history and ourselves. It shames me to think of what he would have to say about what I have done to our shared endeavor. Parvos Granum, you know the name, he of the gilded hand and gilded tongue. For an age he has sought what Dante and I had gathered together, our collected treasures, For one such as Grannon, there is no such thing as enough. In an age with no appetite for memory, maintaining a shrine to our shared history seemed folly. And so, in a low moment, I signed it all away. I do not know what possessed me in that moment. I have no need for money, or food, or shelter, or care. Perhaps I merely felt my time was done, that the past had served its use, and me along with it. Whatever the reason, I allowed myself an instant to feel my misery to be greater than my life's purpose, a momentary indulgence that may be paid by every future generation until the sun goes dark. I would give much for my friend to have been here. Dante and I, we tempered each other's unique compulsions. You would have liked Dante, I feel. His end began, as it did for so many souls, with the Entrati family. The patriarch of that benighted family had fallen into decadence and disrepute, his name sullied by controversy and implications of madness. Then an erstwhile associate of mine, a gentleman by the name of Lloyd, a Master Entrati's man for more than a lifetime, well, vanished. Lloyd, his master, and his entire lineage just gone. There were rumours, of course. Master Entrati was known at that time for outlandish claims and questionable science relating to voices he was hearing, I believe. Gods from beyond the veil and whatnot. After the disappearances, Dante, never one to let a good mystery go, insisted on infiltrating the Entrati manse and learning the truth for himself. I, however, being more familiar with the confidential details of Master Entrati's interests, urged him otherwise. I suppose you wonder why I would do such a thing if I believed Master Entrati to be fit for little more than the asylum. Lloyd was, as I said, a dear friend. We spoke often. His last missive to me was a simple one. We end as we began. As a student of history and its occult apocrypha, I know the terrible import of those words, and so I cautioned Dante to remain by my side. He promised to do so, then did otherwise, and I never saw him again. Perhaps I was not so deft at tempering him as he was of me, and that, I suppose, was my first great failing, the parent of this second and most final one.
The inbox has messages for the operator. Anything about orders in there?
My friend, without Dante, I need an associate to bring me the goods Parvos demands. To convey the gravity of my situation, I've relayed my comms with that corpus robber baron to your ship Cephalon. I trust you can and will be that associate for me.
All you need to get into an arterial conduit is the correct docket. Ready for a hunt?
Mama have captured the dockets you need. Be aware, the Groslings have a particular appetite for dockets.
A docket? Excellent. Look for a conduit with a matching glyph. That's it. Protect the conduit and watch out for enemy necromechs. They'll blow the whole apparatus up just to keep you out. Oh, great. Grosling in your area. Security systems are responding to your intrusion. Watch out for explosive necromechs.
If you truly desired greatness for the Levarian, you would have made it happen, Drusus. But you haven't. Instead, you idle away the years, content with unfulfilled dreams and comfortable mediocrity. I desire greater things from the Levarian and her archives.
You will get your payment, Mr. Granum, and nothing more.
Here we go again. Quite the haul you've got there. Come and see me. I'd like to take some of it off your hands.
Bird, be a love and look into the meaning of internal monologue.
One must make the best of things.
There you are! I would speak with you.
Now that you're here, Tenno, let's put you to work. I'm never alone down here, Tenno. It's always watching arcanes. I'll just put this all back. Be patient with me, Tenno. I am still adjusting to this era. Very good, Tenno. I cannot lie, Tenno. I have always felt nervous in the presence of Warframes. Oh, Our service is but a shadow of yours.
One minute, I existed only to eat and flee and breed. The next, I was me. But men, did men have time to be men? Before she and I, we were the last. Did you know that? Without her, there's no more us. No more Tagfer and men. No soft calls. No gentle nuzzling muzzle. No little Tagfers. No little mins. Ever. Fibonacci says we have to trust that it's all part of Papa's plan. How? Why? And now I have a purpose. So the fish says. To help you in the ways in which I have been instructed. But all I want is to be with her. anything in the Netra cells about the vessels, steal it. Papa never wanted anyone to know what he was up to. That's why he built the Netra cells, little hideaway vaults. Not even Lloyd knows what he got up to in there. I want to know. Okay. Listen, you're not getting out of the anchor hold without all 4 key glyphs. Only one way out of the anchor hold. Use that terminal. The Netra cell is hidden somewhere in these labs. Sniff it out yourself or get control of terminals. They'll tell you where it is. can you even go near that book? You're made of stronger stuff than me. This is it. Use the key glyph and get ready for whatever happens next. We ain't done! Local threats are triggering a security override. Clear out the uglies to pop the door. Going on with necromites trying to lock this thing down. Take them out. We ain't got all day.
One must make the best of things.
Oh, do you need me? In my humble opinion, you'll last longer with a few warm bodies to soak up the day. Okay. Ready? To leave the anchor hold, access that terminal. The Netra cell is hidden somewhere in these labs. Sniff it out yourself or get control of terminals. They'll tell you where it is. can you even go near that book? You're made of stronger stuff than me. The Netra cell. Open it. Security's freaking out. The Netra cell doors won't open until you clear out the uglies around the entrance. Going on with necromites trying to lock this thing down. Take them out. We ain't got all day. Gotta keep going. Acromites are slowing us down. Find them, smash them. Grab and go. Can't wait to see what you got when you get back here. I wonder what Albrecht planned on doing with that.
Another job well executed.
Oh, hello. In my humble opinion, you'll last longer with a few warm bodies to soak up the damage. Albrecht's security is no joke. Oh, okay. Should I be doing something different?
Oh, yes.
operator, correct? Drifter, perhaps? You'll find our merry band share that unconventional relationship with their appellations. I am Fibonacci. Papa's design has uplifted me to function as the coordinating factor of this little group. You, may have heard that one of our number was consigned to paradise before our return from the void. Min, Tagva's mate. Yes, most unfortunate. Too often it is the good and the young who forge our future, laying their lives upon progress's unfeeling anvil. Now, let us apply ourselves to the grand work at hand, and deny our minds melancholy's frigid caress. To work! Gather the others. I have something to gather the others. I have something to say to all of. Very well.
they were like, ah, and you were like, that's cool. And I was like, whoa.
Another job well executed.
Are we heading out then?